Hi everyone, Plastic EP here from Australia, saying hello to New York. No, not New York. Saying hello to Mick Lawless.
From
Mick
Boston.
from Salute from Boston. How are you?
Here I come, walking down the street. Hey, man. Greetings from Boston, New England, Boston, USA. How you doing?
That's real cool, Mick. And tell me about it. I want to know about Loose Salute. Last night I spent all night watching the videos, man.
That's good.
I was blown away.
You spent your time wisely, I see.
Well, I had to. I had to know more about
you kind of did. Okay, well, that's good. So, yeah, Loose Salute. So you obviously know where the name, where I got the name from. For those of you who don't, that's band name is taken from the Michael Nesmith solo record from 1970 called Loose Salute. And the initial premise of the band, which I formed in 2004 after running into a pedal steel guitar player, a la Red Rhodes, pedal steel guitar player for Mike Nesmith and the First National Band. I really wanted to start a band around those first three albums of Mike Nesmith. The Red, White, and Blue, the Nevada Fighter, Loose Salute, Magnetic South, and really had this premise in my head to do this band. And when I kind of secured my friend Mike Castellana, a steel pedal player, we started to play a couple of the duo things, a la Mike Nesmith, Red Rhodes, and then we kind of built a little band around it. Unfortunately, Mike didn't last in the project too long. He actually went on with a touring band. And we kind of lost them, but we filled in the pieces, and we never did have a pedal steel player again, but we've had some great musicians along the way. And right now what I feel is the strongest lineup of the band, with the mighty Tom Yates on lead guitar. So the band's been around since 2004 though. So in various incarnations, put together out of the love of Michael Nesmith's music.
Of course. He's the biggest songwriting influence in my life. It's Mike Nesmith, voice and heart, just so you know.
Good. I had the pleasure of meeting Bobby Hart 5 years ago and secured him actually for a show with Peter Tork, which is something I'll never forget. I put the show together, and it was really a treat. But yeah, so the Loose Salute thing's been going pretty good out here. When we got going, it was funny because we'd get some gigs and we'd play all the deep cuts off the Nesmith records, and not many Monkey songs at the time in the early days. We may have thrown I know we always played Pleasant Valley Sunday, and we were like Sunny Girlfriend and maybe some of the more countryer style ones, but it wasn't until a couple years later where we kept getting asked to do like Valerie and and things like that we kind of changed the direction of the band. It went less, it never compromised. Like we never sold out to, it never became a dress up thing or nothing. We never, did the button shirt. It was always about the music for us. It was always about exposing the music, so, Loose Salute I always thought of Loose Salute as the thinking man's guide to the Monkees. An exploration through the songs in whatever way we going to present them to you. Like, for example, Tapioca Tundra, the deep cut off of Birds, the Bees, and the Monkey. Everyone knows it comes in with a... when it starts up, reason for some, starts like that. So what Loose Salute does with it is we do the intro. And then instead of going in, we'd go like this. Reason verse some prose of rhyme lose themselves, but of the time we're waiting, thoughts cast a silent spell. that speaks in clouded clues, and it cannot be a part of me for now. It's part of you. And we take it kind of more of a loungy, and we'll do that with a lot of songs. But just kind of like do a different rendition of them, you know, and that's kind of what the premise of Loose Salute kind of was. Not every song is verbatim, and that's for sure. So,
Mick, can I say there wouldn't have been too many bands doing Mike Nesmith songs at that time?
Oh, there's not even many out that we even know about. I think there's a couple of straight Monkees bands I know of. I don't know of anyone doing the kind of thing I'm doing. I don't. There could be, but I don't know of any.
But I'm saying Mike would be proud that you're promoting his music.
That's a good story. I could tell you a pretty quick story about meeting Mike, and I had met all the guys at one time or another. I mean, I've been, I guess you could call me a first generation fan. I'm 57 years old.
Yeah, that's like me. I'm first generation.
I've been playing music for, since high school. But where was I going here? Oh, so Mike did his 2018 First National Band Redux. I was fortunate enough to get out to Dallas to see a show, and no secrets here. I didn't, pull any major. I wish I could tell you that I pulled some major strings to get backstage, but I bought the exorbitant money, meet and greet pass. I treated myself, and I was out in Dallas from Boston on a little excursion roundaboutly from New Mexico, and so I had the money, and I just did it, and so you get in the line, and I kind of was at the very end, which was kind of good because I had a little time with him, and I've been on the Nez sites, for a long time and stuff, and of course you see Mick Lawless. It's like a name that it's not like Steve Smith or anything. It's gonna stand out, and it's my turn to kind of get up there and see him, and had some stuff to give him, and put out my hand, and I says, "Hey, Nez, Mick Lawless." And I'll never forget this in the Texas little draw. So you're Mick Lawless, not a big thing, but it was just kind of, to me, that was like, oh, so you've heard of me, Yes, because he even answered a couple of posts, chimed in on a few Loose Salute posts. So he knew about the band, and it was cool, and we get to talk about it. And one thing I did have him sign was, I should have brought it up here. It's down in the studio, but if we do it again, we can go through some of that stuff. But I had him sign a Loose Salute set list in which he inscribed to Mick and the guys in Loose Salute, all music rises, Mike Nesmith. And he wrote it at the bottom of one of our original set lists with all his songs on it. So that's kind of cool. But and then I had met him. He came to Boston, and I came home to Boston. The tour took him to Boston, and the next time around, it wasn't so hard to get back and see him again. And I took a great picture standing behind him, giving the salute. And I consider him a friend now, so that's cool.
That's really
and Christian, nice. And his son Christian and Cersei, and it's a good family vibe.
I got to ask you about Peter Talking. I got to ask you about Peter Talking now because he's close to your heart. You got to tell me that.
He is. And I had started attending Peter talk, in the New Monks. I think I saw a show when I was 20 years old or something in some here in Massachusetts. I've been following Peter's career, and lo and behold, in 2009 was the first time I actually had to work with him. And but the cool thing about this was he couldn't get his band Shoe Suede Blues to correlate to this Comic-Con appearance that he was supposed to make at a fan fest, and one of which I kind of correlate the concerts for. I'm the concert promoter of it, and it was something that we got to do with Peter on an annual basis. But this was the first time I got to work with him. He had been coming to the event for years with Shoe Suede Blues, but I had stepped into the fold in 2009. He couldn't get the guys, so we get the numbers. We were corresponding through email and stuff, and I told him, I have a band for you. We kind of do monkey song. I think you're gonna love it. We got you covered. And that was for about a month period. And the cool thing, to this day, I still have some MP3s that he sent to me that I want the song to go this way. And then it was kind of just him just doing, and he sent, and they're like probably one of a kind recordings. They're in my, in my email still. And that's kind of cool in itself. But anyway, when the whole concert came to fruition that first year, we met up and went to introduce myself to him in the morning, and we kind of knew each other from seeing each other through the years at these fan events. I'm a record collector and a dealer at these events, and I go to a lot of the ones that he used to go to at these fan fests. We kind of knew each other anyway from just the years going back to the 80s. And he goes to me, "So you're you?" And I go, "Yes." And he recognized me. And then I assured him that we had his back covered that night, and that we'll give him a good performance. And we pulled it off. That was the same night that Mickey showed up. And man, what a great night that was. You want me to do the whole story? I might as well do the whole story.
No, I want you to do the whole story. We got time.
So
I'm sure Mickey's watching these.
Yeah, because this is the first time I ever worked with either of them. But lo and behold, we worked with them both on the same night. So Mickey and Peter were at, they were the big bill. They're the big stars at this, 2 monkeys at one con is a pretty big deal. Tons of monkey fans everywhere, right? And here we are going to back up the great Peter Tork. Mickey wasn't supposed to come up on the stage and sing. I had asked Peter about it after our initial ice-breaking incident and talked a while about what songs and whatnot. And we actually felt together really kind of good, I think, me and Peter. We just kind of hit it off, and pretty well. And he says, I goes, "Mick, you gonna come up and sing this?" He goes, "Well, that's up to him. That's totally up to him." And he left it up to him with no real feeling that maybe he probably wasn't going to, because it wasn't the plan. So the con starts, and I wait till Mickey to take a break from his signing, and I went over and introduced myself. So doing the band tonight and whatnot. And Peter says, "It's up to you, and we'd love to have you. And we can accommodate almost any monkey song if you want to do Pleasant Valley Sunday, or you name it. And we'll probably be able to do it if it's a monkey song." And he looks right at me, and he goes, "Do you guys know Oh Darling?" Just like that, just looks right up. You guys know Oh Darling? And I didn't really know what to say, because I couldn't speak for every member of the band, and it's not a tune that we do in the band. I know it, and I was comfortable that I could do it. And I go, "Yeah, I think we can do that." And the next words out of his mouth were, "Well, we wouldn't want to do it if you guys don't know it, And he said, "Don't worry about it. We'll I can't remember what happened, but he had to go and I had to go, and we, had an initial meeting." And okay, so the con, the day portion ends at 6 o'clock or something, and we got a couple hours to get ready for an 8 o'clock show. Mickey was nowhere to be seen. He didn't come to sound check. He wasn't part of the concert. It was a Peter show. So a couple cool things happened in the interim. You're still with me, right? I know I'm talking here a lot.
No, you're fine. Don't worry. It's a great story.
So, a couple things happened in the interim. They had to close off this one room, which was part of like a dealer's room. They had to move to, and they built the stage, and we had the sound people come in. 2 hours from 6 o'clock, which really turned into about 6:20, almost 6:30 by the time you get everybody out and stuff. So you got like an hour and a half to get ready for a really big show, and they turn the place into a concert. Dim the lights, get the bar set up, and anyway, so we get a sound check, and I found this tape the other day, and anyone who want to goes to my Loose Salute Facebook page, Loose Salute Facebook. I think it's what it is. It's just the name of my band. And I have a little video of me listening to it in the studio. We still have the footage of Peter teaching us Higher and Higher when he's playing on the banjo. We never did play the song that night live, but it's sort of a great little thing to have, a historical piece. Anyway, the concert comes. Peter started off with about a half hour of acoustic, and then he brought us up, and we had about 6 songs. I think we were going to do some of his blues stuff. Six songs, I think, because we didn't want to overcomplicate things. This was the first thing, and it was pretty much off the cuff. It only came together in a matter of a month of us going to do it with him. This wasn't something that was planned. This just kind of happened in a matter of like 3 to 4 week span. So he didn't want to give us too much to learn, and we could only get together like once a week to learn these songs anyway. So, and it wasn't that the songs were difficult, and we knew some of them anyway. I knew Stepping Stone and Clarksville were on the list, so, but he had some of his bluesy things that he wanted done in a certain way, and it was a pleasure to learn them. So we do them, and I think in the first, like right in the first song, so he got in his comfort zone. It just really felt good. It felt good in the sound check too. So he was in his comfort zone, and I can't speak for him, but I think it was just the way we just kind of, it wasn't Shoe Sway blues. It was something that he could feel more like, or maybe to express himself more openly. And if you look at some of the video footage to this day, he seems to be swinging. It was something he kind of got involved in this moment in time, and it was different for him, and it was certainly different for us to back him up. So we nailed all the songs pretty well, and then he called Mickey to the stage. Mickey had agreed to come up. I don't know if I mentioned that. He did agree to come up, and when Peter called him up, he comes up on the stage. And I figured we're just going to do Pleasant Valley Sunday, and this will be it. And we did everything we were asked to do, and that's fine. And Mickey comes up, and our guitar player leans into the fray, and he goes, "We're going to do Oh Darling, right?" And Mickey goes, "Really?" And just remember the way the little inflections in his voice and stuff. And I knew it. And I had told the guys on the phone, I told them after I had talked to Mickey initially, try to cram this into your memory banks. The drummer certainly knew it, and the guys kind of knew it. It wasn't that big a deal until Mickey goes, "In the key of G," and everybody goes, "Yeah, okay," because the key is in A. So everybody had to transpose it on the fly. And we did it. And in this video that's got like thousands of hits on it on YouTube, it's put up by the One Lucky Cat is the person who put it out. I know who that is, by the way. And it's not me, but anyway, and you can just see the band just nails it, and Mickey gets into a comfort zone. And the coolest part about all of this is after we finished that song, the place went crazy, and we went right into Pleasant Valley Sunday, and then the place was going crazy. And Peter, we did like 3 other songs right off the cuff. A song of Peter's called The White Boy Blues. Mickey stayed on the stage for it. We gave him an acoustic guitar. It wasn't even plugged in. He was just kind of going through the motions. White Boy Blues. And, oh, God, I'm having a mental blank here. Mickey sang Johnny Be Good. And he crushed it. And that's another YouTube favorite. So that whole thing's pretty well documented that night. And that was the first time. And then it turned into a couple other times with each guy in the years that preceded it on different occasions. But that was the first one. And man, it was just this happening in time that just kind of was meant to be, It kind of was cool. It's kind
what a buzz.
Right. I mean, it just and that was over 10 years ago now. That was in 2009. So.
And Mick, I got to say, I saw that video of you sitting behind the desk talking about the Peter Talk video that you had. I saw that. That was great, really interesting. That's why they should go on your Facebook and check them out.
All right. And that's a great segue into maybe something we can do right now, because Peter became a very good, this is another Peter Tork story we can get into for another day maybe, or whatever. But when his death happened, of course we kind of knew it was, it was coming. He was very sick. He kind of beat it, actually. He seemed to beat it for about 5 solid years. And he had, people thought he might, not go that long when it was first diagnosed. So that's good. Anyway, I wrote a song within 24 hours of his passing. And I actually wanted to call the song Peter Tork. That's what I wanted to name the song. But who names a song Peter Tork? So I call it The Peace Train, because we know Cat Stevens has a song called Peace Train. So to differentiate, I call it The Peace Train. And I won't get into any copyright violation because it's my song, so I can play the 2 minutes and 30 seconds of it. So this is a song it pretty much came right out of me within the 24-hour span of Peter's passing, called The Peace Train. Please stop the world, I'm getting off. I'll take an Uber to the land of the lost. I'm going back to a better day when it wasn't all this work and all this pay. Now I'm just trying to find what's true. If I asked you for the answer, would you even have a clue? I'll take the peace train from inside, and if I think you fit the bill, I'd gladly have you for the ride. Please stop the world, I'm getting off. I'd like to take you all for ice cream, but I can't afford the cost. I'm going back to a simpler time, if even just for a short moment, in the vacuum of my mind. Please stop the world, I've had enough. We got the knowledge and the power, we'll never have the trust. I'll take the peace train until the end, and if it's just a stitch in time, I'd just as soon call you my friend. Right on. My friend.
Very good, Mick. I really liked it. That's a great dedication. And got a great groove to it too.
Thank you. Now that was written with the thought in my head, and maybe you can hear it, right, of Peter standing next to me on the banjo. Think about it. Perfect banjos, percussive banjo. And that's kind of where my head was at the time. So,
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
With a band, I'm just saying, what have you got? I mean, obviously everyone's in isolation and that. Did you have a lot of bookings coming up and you had to cancel? And
well, it's very funny you should say that, because the Loose Salute project has been around since 2004. And I think we kind of hit our pinnacle around 2016. In the last few years, we've just been doing a couple of one-off shows here and there. We did a great cyber broadcast on New Year's Day of 2019, which I have a CD coming out of this year of it. And it's jam-packed of Nez songs, and it was recorded, like professional, and it's, little unplugged setting of the guys, and it's just so perfect. Look up my Loose Salute Facebook. I'll be dropping the single, the A and B sides, to that probably in a week or so. But the band is, I've been working on a the older we get, and I'm a songwriter myself. I took on an original project of my own, and which focuses more on my original music, and that's been taking a lot of my time up. But I certainly always have time for Loose Salute. Having this CD is good. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of discs here. There's a nice pun on the. I don't know if you can see that. So it's not the Pisces, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Jones. What this is this is the Pisces, Cancer, Leo, and Yates Limited. Yates being our guitar player, Tom Yates, and it kind of took the spin off of Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones. But the songs are like a lot of Nez songs. That's not the album. It's we have songs. Opens up with oh God, can't remember my own record here. It opens up with Circle Sky, and then there's Rio. There's What Am I Doing Hanging Around? There's 9 Times Blue, Propinquity. There's a lot of Nez songs on here, which is, as it should be. And then there's a few other ones. There's Nezisms, which is a little, but this new one is going to be the Happy Nez Year broadcast, and it's chock full of some great stuff. So, I don't know. Loose Salute's a nice little concept to have. The people who get it really get. We have a couple hardcores in the area that would come to any shows if we were to have any. Of course, we're not having anything right now with the COVID, but there's about 1,300 something on our Facebook likes. So if you guys out there who are just seeing this for the first time, if you can maybe go to that page and pump us up a little, I'd appreciate that. A little shameless self-promotion, I guess.
That's good. I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, go ahead. Ask me a question. Go ahead.
Mick, have you heard the new Monkeys CD, the live one with Mickey and Mike?
I've heard it. Yes.
Yes, it's great, isn't it?
It's great. And Christian did a great job with that, as well as one of my favorite live albums ever, the first national band one from 7A that came out 2 years ago. Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah.
It's Christian Nesmith produced both of those, and man, what a solid production.
They put some good songs out.
They did.
7A records. I got to ask you, Mick, one of my favorite Mike Nesmith songs after he left the Monkees, it's actually Joanne, right? And that was a big hit here in Australia.
That was probably, and it cracked the top 40 in the US, but I don't think it really got up too far. I don't even know if it went in top 20. I don't think it did.
No, it did really well here in Australia at the time.
Her name was Joanne, and she lived in a meadow by a pond. And she touched me for a moment with a look that spoke to me of her sweet love. But the woman that she was drove her on to desperation, and I saw as she left a most hopeless situation for Joanne and the man and the time. It made us both run.
Hey, Mick, I've got to ask you now, right? I want to talk Monkeys, okay? So I'm going to tell you an album. I'm going to tell you an album, and I want you to tell me the best and worst song off the album, and I'm going to reply that with my opinion, all right?
You're going to okay, so we're gonna play a little game here, is what we're going to do.
Right. So what I'm saying is the first album, the Monkees, right? What's your favorite song off it? Just answer the question, and I'll give you my answer.
My favorite song off that, Saturday's Child.
Okay, that was meant to be the first single released by the Monkees, but then they came up with Last Train to Clarksville, so that replaced it as the first single. Now, after playing that album endlessly, Tomorrow's Going to Be Another Day is actually my favorite track. I wore the groove out of that record.
Yeah, that it's so underrated. It never turns up in conversation when you're talking of the Great Monkeys tracks. I mean, think about it. At least, I don't think it does, right?
And off that album, which is a song that you don't like, if you remember.
I'm gonna catch all shit for this, but that particular, and I'm gonna catch hell for it. But the version of "I Want to Be Free," and it's not to say that I hate it. It's just, I don't know. It just, I like the more peppier version. I'm gonna catch shit for it, I know, but
you probably find it a bit slow. That's what it is.
Yeah, I like the, have you heard the way Loose Salute does it with Tom Yates doing the emulating the vocal, the melody line with the guitar?
Do a bit for us.
I can't do his parts, but the tempo, and we also put in we start it with a little tag. It's a, and then Tom will come in and bow down, bow down, bow down, bow, 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 and that tag, that's my own little thing. And I wanna be free like the warm September wind, babe. You'll always be my friend, babe. We can make it through the end, babe. Again, babe, I gotta say.
Yeah, but I gotta say, Mick, that's why I like the version with Mickey and Davey singing it better than the one that was.
I love that. Plus, that's kind of I always refer to that as the Bob Dylan in the Monkees, because it sounds just like something that could have been off of Blonde on Blonde or something, the backing track. I mean, you take the vocals out of that and it's a Bob Dylan song. I agree. For me, I love that version. And
now,
so
I'm going to go to the second album.
Say again?
I'm going to go to the second album now, more the Monkees, right? And I've got to tell you, over time, right, my favorite number one Mike Nesmith song was "You Just May Be the One," right? For years and years and years and years. But you know what? The kind of girl I could love has become my number one song. It's just that great.
Great. Another one doesn't turn up in conversation much. And a great song. I'd have to agree with you on that. I'd have to agree with that. What's that?
Can you play a bit of that?
All right, so that you have the trusty capo for. And that's going to go, if my calculations are correct, there, I believe. And I always refer to this song as the Monkees, the Buddy Holly song of the Monkees. It says that. Hey girl, you look mighty good to me, and I think that you got to be the kind of girl I could love. You do something to my soul. No, you do something to my soul no one's ever done. And if you're looking for true love, then let me be the one. Hey girl, deep in my heart I'm sure, and I know that I'm looking for the kind of girl I could love.
Brother, now, the song I had off that album, and I don't care what anyone says, but that Davies song, The Day We Fall in Love, right? Some people love that song, and I'm not knocking that. Okay, they can love it. When it came out, it made all the 12-year-olds be in love. That's fair enough. It did its job in 1966.
Formula, my friend.
Let me tell you, Mick, if I want to fall asleep, that's the first song I put on. Guaranteed, I'm asleep in 10 minutes. Guaranteed.
I'm gonna have to tend to agree with you. I think our choices are the same, maybe on that. The only other one I do agree with that would be my selection as well. The only other one for best might be She, but yeah, I'm right there with you with the kind of girl I could love, though.
Mick,
And again, like I think I told you before we even started all this, your favorite song on what particular day,
what I
today
mean,
it's the kind of girl I could love.
I don't want to
Tomorrow,
upset anybody. Can you just play a bit of that the day we fall in love, please? Just play a little bit, please.
of which one?
The day we fall in love. Just play a
No,
bit.
I can't. I can't. I'm serious. I'm serious. I can't. I can't. So
There you
it's
go.
probably
See,
better. It's probably better. It's probably
Yeah,
better.
but see, that's not the kind of song you can play, which is good.
That's fine. That's good.
You know,
Hey, this is turning into a gaggle of fun. So this is
and
it's
you
all
know what? I
good.
got to tell you, as a 9-year-old, 8-year-old, 9 years old.
Really, you look like you're in your 50s.
No, I was talking about when I was that age. All right. Anyway,
Sorry.
I used to go and buy every single single that came out, every single Monkeys one. Okay, and Boyce and Hart made the original sound for the Monkeys. That's the sound that I love. But let me tell you, as soon as D.W. Washburn came out, and I remember, right, I'm telling everyone in Melbourne at my school and whatever, the Monkeys are the greatest. And there was older people saying, like, the Beatles are it, the Monkeys are like rubbish. You used to get into fights over who was your favorite group. But I can tell you, the day that I held the single for that one, D.W. Washburn, it was like, what happened?
Well, in the times where we were the curve was changing in there. So,
But see, that's when they lost their fans.
You know what?
Oddly
enough, I'm a proponent of D.W. Washburn. I'm I've got a ukulele version of it that I don't have my ukulele here, but I've kind of accepted D.W. Washburn.
Mick, I've got to tell you, I hope we speak again. From Plastic EP to Mr. Mick Lawless from Loose Salute, I reckon it was great. And also, I want you to take us out and say goodbye to the fans and all the fans from Loose Salute and just play a few chords and we'll let you take out the rest of the show. So if you've got anything to say.
All right. Thanks, guys. So to everybody in Australia, greetings from the Boston area of Massachusetts, USA. Check me out, Mick Lawless, Lawless, just in my band Loose Salute, doing all your favorite Monkey stuff. And remember, it's we're gonna ride this thing out together. Okay, let's do it.
See you, Mick. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Be well, my friends.
See ya.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Plastic.